a few weeks ago, you may remember this. So a few weeks ago, you may remember the latest way that Vladimir Putin was weaponizing words against the West and affecting our feeble minds over here was by declaring that liberalism has become obsolete, and the media here fell over themselves to basically say, hey, that's not the case. Liberalism's alive and well, and it's the best thing that's ever happened to the world. Well, Putin's mind tricks don't work on me, I'm afraid, because I can see that liberalism in the West, at least in this country at least, is alive and very, 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 very well. In fact, I'd like to pose a question. Is this peak liberalism? Because, as you may have heard, this happened. Green MP Caroline Lucas calls for an all-female emergency cabinet. To sort out the mess of Brexit, she says. She wrote about it in GCHQ's mouthpiece, The Guardian, which I refuse to highlight on this channel because, you know, GCHQ and MI6 and propaganda and lies. Luke Harding, Owen Jones, Cal Cadwallader, James Ball, I could go on. Well, Caroline Lucas is calling for this, what should we call it? Fantasy draft of brilliant cross-party women, you know, because, you know, she's not saying that women are better than men or anything, okay? She's not saying, well, you know what? Have a listen to you for yourselves.
In my experience, I've found that women have generally been more able to put aside tribal concerns and to build trust more quickly. And there are times in history where we've seen that happen. When it came to the Northern Ireland Troubles, for example, there's been two women there who were instrumental in bringing around the peace process. If you look at the climate change talks, two women, Ségolène Royal and Cristina Figueres, who were instrumental in breaking the logjam at the Paris climate talks. Now, I'm not saying that all women are automatically more able to do this any more than I'm saying that all men are not.
Except you are. Aren't you, Caroline? That's like, you know, that's exactly what you're saying, isn't it? Eh?
But I am saying that at a time of crisis, I think it's worth exploring whether we could develop a different kind of dynamic, if you like, by getting women in the room. And I've approached women, basically the women who are in the most senior positions in their political parties across Westminster, to see if at this time of emergency we can bring some fresh thinking.
Why stop there? Huh? Think about it. Why stop there, though? Why stop at just a committee? Why stop at just a committee of super girls or women, whatever the proper thing is? Why stop there? That will have some power for sure, but let's give women more power, shall we? I know, let's just give one woman all the power. Let's make a woman the most powerful woman in the country. Let's have a female Prime Minister. That's what we need. That's what we need to sort Brexit out. A female. A woman can figure this out. Surely. Sadly for her, for Caroline Lucas, and foreseeably for the rest of us, this idea went very badly from here on in. I'll play the rest of this clip.
Not only all women, all white women, and all white women who voted Remain. How could that be a government of national unity?
Let me address the issue of white women first of all, because that is a real concern. But I want to explain that the reason that this group
it's a real concern
of women came together in my mind was not because there's some kind of dream cabinet that I have huge amounts in common with, but simply because they are the leaders or deputy leaders of their parties at Westminster. So that's how that leads us to Liz Saville-Roberts, for example, the leader of Plaid Cymru, Jo Swinson, leader of Lib Dems, Kirsty Blackman, who's the deputy leader of SNP. They all happen to be white. Now, I wish it were not the case, and certainly we would want to open this up as soon as possible to more women, more diversity. That would certainly be my dream.
So, just in case you couldn't make it out there, her answer to that question was not her answer to that question was, it's not because Diane Abbott was black that she didn't invite Diane Abbott to her fantasy cabinet that is anti-democratic and could never exist. No, it's not the black thing. It's because the main two parties are so sexist, they haven't got a woman as either leader or deputy leader. Check and mate, anti-feminists. How about that? Seriously, I've just presented you an argument. How about that in the chat? Is that peak liberalism? No? Okay. All right. Okay. How about this then? Because SNP leader Nicola Sturgeon, who was included in Caroline Lucas's Marvel crossover fantasy draft cabinet of white supergirls, super women, super ladies. We'll just call them shiny keys, shall we? Shiny keys. Well, Nicola Sturgeon, she went on ITV's flagship politics programme, Loose Women. She went on there to say she's all for Caroline Lucas's fantasy draft that could never happen. She's all for that committee. She's all for it. What do you think? Is that peak liberalism? No? What about this? Cabinet Minister, this is from the BBC, Cabinet Minister Liz Truss criticised the plan as sexist. How about that? Is that peak liberalism? People in the chat are going mad. Okay. How about, if that's not peak liberalism, how about Caroline Lucas then having to apologise because she didn't include any black, Asian or ethnic women in her fantasy cabinet, which is anti-democratic and could never happen. Okay? Having to apologise for it and making a statement as well. Is that peak liberalism? No. The truth is, none of these, you're all wrong in the chat, none of these are peak liberalism. Because this story I'm about to show you is the peak of liberalism. Gwent police warn people mocking Jermaine Taylor's hair. This is peak liberalism. This is the story that after posting this mugshot on social media of a man wanted for breaching bail conditions, had to then post a warning to people making fun of his hairstyle, with comments such as, he's vanished into thin hair today, gone tomorrow, and this. Oh dear. And who done his hair? Moses, said one user. Barber, what you after, bro? Jermaine, you know Jolyon Lescott. Barber, say no more, fam. And another joke that police are, of course, combing the area. Yes, Gwent police had to remind people that words hurt and criminals have feelings. And oh yeah, those last two pictures, those are mine, by the way. But yeah, please remember that harassing, threatening and abusing people on social media can be against the law. Gwent police told their Facebook, there's a Freudian slip for you, their Facebook users who were making fun of that guy. This surely is peak liberalism, isn't it? They'll arrest you for a hate crime if you say something too mean, and Gwent police reminded people of that. I say we have reached peak liberalism. So, you know what? On reflection, after telling this story, maybe Putin is right. You know, maybe liberalism has failed, and maybe all it took was for us to see it in all its glory and stupidity, and for us to realise what it is. Really, when you look at liberalism and neoliberals, it's just the lipstick on the pig of the establishment. I do hope that common sense will prevail over these deranged and dangerous do-gooders who know absolutely nothing about how the world works or what is in our best interests.